One of the great pieces about Google Calendar is the ability to have multiple calendars, but also be able to see them all on the same screen. And they're all overlaid over the top of each other, making it fairly easy to use. And I'll show you what I mean here. So right now, I'm only seeing my calendar items that are strictly on my calendar because they're this blue color. These ones are ones that are in the past, that's why they're a lighter blue, but we're only looking at my calendar. I can turn on any of these calendars and overlay it over the top of my calendar. So let's say Jeremy and I needed to find a time to meet. So I can turn on his calendar and I can see, how our days line up, and we can find a time to talk about something. And so really what you're doing is you're toggling these other calendars on and off as you need them. Because honestly, throughout the day, typically I'm just running with my calendar on because that's my schedule. I'm turning on colleagues' calendars, maybe the Chromebook cart calendar or a shared computer lab calendar, something like that as I need them. So I can, turn on this Camp 9 calendar. Okay, cool, nothing's going on this week, I'm good, but I don't need it anymore. I can turn it off. And so I'm toggling these on and off quite frequently throughout the day as I need them, but it just overlays all in one screen. It is really nice. You can actually turn off all calendars. So I've got nothing on my calendar because I don't have these calendars turned on. So each calendar is going to be assigned a color by Google. You can change that color. So if I want this Camp 9, instead of being this green, maybe I want to make it a red. So now any Camp 9 stuff would show up in red instead of the green that it was. So you get these multiple calendars going, and it's really nice to keep things organized. But it becomes tricky when you want to put an event on a shared calendar. So for example, let's say I wanted to put something on the Camp 9 calendar. I need everyone else who can see that calendar to see this event. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just double click. Let's say I'm going to put this something going on tomorrow at 1. So I'm going to double click here to create an event. It's the same steps, same process of creating an event. The only difference is right here where it says calendar. If I hit this drop-down menu, here are all the calendars that I have access to that I can create events on. So I'm coming through, here's that Camp 9 calendar, right? So I'm gonna click and I'm telling that I want this test event to go on the Camp 9 calendar, not on my personal calendar. It doesn't matter what calendar you have turned on and off in that previous view, it's always going to default to your main calendar. So make sure that when you're putting events on a shared calendar that you're choosing which calendar to have that event added to. That's going to be really important when you're using shared calendars for things like those Chromebook carts and shared labs and things. Make sure you're getting it on the right calendar and you're not just putting it on your own personal calendar. So I've got this test event on there. I'm going to click save and I'm going to notice that here's that test event. It's in red because Camp 9, that calendar, is red. And because I added that event to this calendar, that's why it's red. If I want the Camp 9 stuff to go away, that event goes away with it because it's only hooked to the Camp 9 calendar. So as you can see, having multiple calendars is really nice, but it can get tricky at times. So as you need support, make sure you let us know and we'll be there to help you out.